No, they were better. They were a better team. Yeah. So we didn't have energy. So at the end, like all the teams, we played 2 days ago in Brentford, come back to Manchester, come back here, London, and they didn't have the energy for the good moment, for the quality.
We have to build from here. This is the level that we want to play. And every day we work very hard to create this situation. And as you could see before the game, I mentioned we want to see a team with belief, who can compete against a big team like this, but is also able and dares to play against a team like this. And I think we showed it all today, so very proud.
I think they were, in most part of the game, they were better. We have to accept it. But at the same time, we show our personality. We show why we are champions and why we want to be again.
The inconsistency of going to the screen or getting told to go to the screen. The referee might have straight away said on Martin it wasn't a penalty when he looked at it, but it's the fact that he went and looked at it. In both in real time, he said no penalty for both, but he gets told to go and see one and not the other. So for me, I think ours was soft, but he's given it, and that's football.
I think it is a penalty, but what I'm looking for is consistency here. You know, okay, we have the VAR in place, so why don't check yourself also as a referee? That didn't happen, and that is disappointing, of course.
Today, with 1 minute, you know, for the penalty, the potential own goal, the red card, change everything. In football, sometimes we try to analyze the reason why is you know, to analyze that what we do, what we have done is unpredictable.
Yeah, remarkable game, crazy in many ways. 11 straight wins now for Manchester City, but a really good performance, no question about that, from Arsenal. But they're not happy about inconsistencies, whatever. So let's start with VAR.
Yeah.
Let's try and clear up what we think, or you think. Let's start with the possible Odegaard penalty.
Yeah, this is a real tough one. It's so close.
Yeah.
We've looked at it many times. And you know what, when the VAR look at something like this, if they can't find a definitive angle or a conclusive angle, then they can't say to the referee, go and look at the screen. You know, you look at it 3 or 4 times.
I don't know.
Is he got the ball? Has he not got the ball? We're still not sure.
Yeah.
You can't
Is that why
tell.
he doesn't go? Is that why he doesn't go? Because they
can't find a definitive angle.
Because it's got to be clear and obvious, I think,
Correct.
to overrule something like that.
But there's so many angles that make it look in so many ways. It looks like he's got it here.
angle. Look.
Looks like he's got the ball there, clear
He
as
has
day.
got there. That really looks like he's got the ball.
Exactly.
I think. So therefore, then we go on to the Manchester City penalty.
Yeah.
And is there any doubt about that, really? Apart from the fact he goes down, but then players do.
It hurts me to say, but I don't think there's much doubt with this one because it's a great bit of skill. Once he cuts back in there, there it is there.
Yeah.
You know, he's caught him. I know look, it's a great bit of skill. Bang, cut back. There's there.
Yeah.
Now, I think that he's dived like everybody else does to accentuate it, but like he's been fouled.
And the shirt pulling as well.
Well, the shirt pulling. I don't think the shirt pulling, to be honest, Gal, is going to pull him down. But he's got his shirt. But there,
the moaning about the inconsistency has been sent to the monitor for that one because it's clear and obvious.
This is clear and obvious. You could see, and like when you look at it, when I saw that, I thought he's going to give a penalty for that when he goes to the monitor. Yeah. It was a fantastic bit of skill. He stood him up.
It's quite rare that we stick up for VAR. I think they might have got it right.
They've done all right in that
occasion. Gabriel's red card, or should I say 2 yellows. Bit of.
Yeah,
he didn't get booked for that.
We thought that he got booked for this, for scuffing up the penalty spot. He didn't. He actually got his first yellow card for running towards the referee. When he got there, he gave the referee a bit of dissent. He was a little bit cheeky. The referee didn't like it.
Look, his card's out already.
And his card's out, and there's the first yellow card that Gabriel gets. This is the second now. Jesus can look over his shoulder and see that he's coming. Right? If you see a defender coming, it's easy.
Exactly, but I'm thinking, when you look at where the Man City players are, even if he controls it, it's going to be very difficult for him to set it off to somebody so that it can cause a problem. He's made his mind up from it. He's charged into it. It's just like, it's a crazy
for me,
foul.
That's immature defending. That's young defending. He's not realising what situation he's in. It is a yellow card. It's clear, and I don't know why his teammates are arguing. He's let his teammates down there.
He needed to calm down. I think he did.
Until that point, though, besides all the decisions, Arsenal was seriously impressive, weren't they?
Fantastic. You know, and when you look at it, when you saw it, this is what Arsenal were doing in respect to the space. Thomas Partey, had a magnificent game. You see him in that space, and this is what Arsenal done very well against City today. They played through the press. They imposed themselves like Bergie said he wanted to do. And then once this ball comes in here, set off, bam, Saka.
They did it.
Brilliant.
For 45 minutes, they were outstanding, Arsenal. They got organiser in 2 banks of 4, 2 up top, and every time City tried to play through them, there was a red shirt there, forcing City to make mistakes. And look at the energy to get in the box as well.
And now you're looking like with Odegaard backing up Laka and Saka and Martinelli. Now, that was so close to being a goal.
Laka,
you know,
and Saka and Xhaka.
Yes.
You know.
I mean, the captain's performance, I thought Lacazette was outstanding because he's the one that started most of the presses. And as you can see, as they're moving it about, they're forcing City to play passes they don't want to play. It's already cut off.
But this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to impose themselves on City, and they've done it. It wasn't just words.
Outstanding.
They went out there and imposed themselves on arguably one of the best teams in the world.
I mean, it's a bit unusual because we're focusing on Arsenal and they've lost the game.
Yeah.
But even Pep said that he thought they had a better time.
Yeah.
We've talked so often, haven't we, how good Man City
honestly.
are. But for all your good play, you've got to take your chances.
You've got to take your chances. Again, like I see Thomas Partey there getting the ball in the middle. I think he squares this. This makes it 2-0. Then the stadium's going crazy. He takes a shot. I think that you give that to Saka, make it 2-0. A great chance. You have to take it. This one, brilliant from Aki to get it off. And I think that he's rushed that. But then when you look at the replay, can somebody explain to me what is the referee trying to get in the box quicker than Gabriel? For look, he's got to get out of his way. He's in his way.
He's made a better run.
He's still got to score. He's still got to put that in the back of the net. But like we said, for all the good play, if you don't, when you're playing against City, you're in trouble.
Yeah, titles, looking away.
What a match to kickstart 2022. And by the way, I'm up for the Maldives anytime. But look, he said the title race is far from over. But the question is, did they deserve to win?
I think it's more a question of it was harsh that Arsenal came out the game empty-handed, so probably no. I think, there was a couple of decisions that went against them. I happen to think both were penalties, but I'm sure we'll look at those in a minute. They missed chances. They had a red card, which I thought was deserved, something they've got to look at. If they're going to be a top team again, Arsenal, they've got to manage themselves in big situations like that, and you can't go down to 10 men against a team like Manchester City. So it was a fantastic game to start the new year, and it had literally everything, and you've got to feel sorry for Arsenal at the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as the title race is concerned, this whole week has been a very defining week, especially with the midweek fixtures and now with Chelsea and Liverpool playing tomorrow. Could this be the moment we look back at and say City stole it or City won it here?
Well, listen, I think they've been the best team. But as Pep said, give it to me now then. If you think we've won it, give it to me now and I can go on holiday. Because he knows it's not over. And I was really pleased that Arsenal took the game to Man City because I think a lot of teams don't. They fear Man City before they've even played them and sit back and accept that they're going to be under pressure. Arsenal took the game to Man City and perhaps showed some of the rest of the Premier League this is how you go about it. We're going to talk about some of the refereeing decisions, etc. But that first half, Arsenal showed that you can get at Man City and they're not invincible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's actually talk about the incidents now and look at the Manchester City awarded a penalty. Now, first of all, was this the right decision in your opinion, Mo?
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was a penalty. I didn't think it was a penalty for the clattering of knees, let's say, but I thought the tug of the shirt was enough for the penalty. Yes, Silva goes down easy. Yes, he takes another couple of strides and then goes down. But who doesn't? I mean, we're seeing that all the time. But the tug of the shirt, I thought, was enough to warrant a penalty. Referee at the time didn't and had to get sent to the monitor. But eventually, that tug there, I don't think you can do that in the penalty box and get away with it.
I know the referees don't come out and explain to us and the fans why they've made the decision. And I think if you look at that, I think the ref will come out and say, because of the tug.
Yes.
Because of the tug of the shirt.
Well, I know the referees don't come out and explain, but there is one man that will explain it for us, and that is Dermot Gallagher. Happy New Year, Derm.
And to you, Seema.
Derm, we were just looking at that incident. I'm sure you've been asked about this a million times since it's happened, but the referee was advised to go to the monitor, but was it a clear and obvious error in the first place?
Seema, I find this a really difficult question to answer because subjective decisions, it's in the eye of the beholder, and Jared Gillett obviously thought it was clear and obvious. I actually thought it was a penalty at the time. I thought it was a penalty in real time. I still think it's a penalty now, having seen the replays. If you watch Jack, he comes across. Bernardo's past him now if he gets by. I think he puts his leg across, he doesn't quite stop him, he reaches out and grabs him. And I think his sole intention is just to stop him going past. And he might have failed here, he certainly grabs his shirt there, and look how far it comes out. So I think once you see that on the monitor, the VAR has got to say to the referee, I recommend you go and have a look. Stuart Atwell goes and has a look, and as Michael said, I think he's got to give a penalty on the evidence put before him.
I agree that it's a penalty. I think what the problem that we've got is all this clear and obvious, and you'll have a few people, the majority of people that I've spoke to think that was a penalty, but you do have a few people that say it wasn't and they thought it was a dive and things like that. And I think the problem that we're getting, I'm not talking about short-term here, but the long-term problem is that the clear and obvious quote that we're talking about, if some people don't think that was a penalty, well, obviously it's not clear and obvious. And the referee didn't give a penalty there and then. And that's the problem, I think, that we face as a game in the future, and that certain decisions are being made because, yeah, it should be a penalty, or yeah, it could be a penalty, or probably a penalty. If we go down the absolute clear and obvious side of things, we're going to have very, very few, because it's all, as Dermot's quotes, in the eye of the beholder. It's whatever we think. I think it was. I don't know if Alan thinks it was.
No, I think it was. I would have said to Dermot, what part of it? Was it all of it? The clashing of the knees, or the tug, or was it both? I thought it was a penalty.
I think all out. I think, as I said, I think Bernardo's going past him. He tries with his knee, and he realises he's still there, and he grabs out at him. He grabs out at him before he's fallen. He grabs here, and then pulls him down. So I think the combination of both is the foul itself. This is a great angle here. You see, he's got the shirt now. So he's knocked him off balance with his knee or his thigh, and then he makes sure he goes down with his shirt.
The thing is, we've all been in that position. Xhaka's been done, and his first reaction is panic. And that's what he's done. He's just got his arm out and pulled his shirt.
But in isolation, none of them would bring the player down. No. I mean, it's not a real yank of the shirt. It's a tiny little pull. And it's not a foul, really. It is, like, as Dermot says, it's a combination of two. Because in isolation, I don't think none of those are a foul. And none of them justify, certainly they don't make you both your legs to crumble down, that tiny pull of the shirt. So it's almost a combination of both that the penalty has been given for.
Yeah, so as Michael said, clear and obvious seems to be causing a lot of problems, but also consistency, because if VAR asked the referee to go to the monitor and look at that one, why did they not do the same for Odegaard's appeal here, Dem?
I think this is a little bit, Michael made a good point about, he spoke to a lot of people today that think it's a penalty, a few don't. I think you will always get that. With this, I think it'd be more split, because when I saw that angle that you've just shown, I actually thought that Ederson got the ball. When I see this angle, I don't think he gets the ball at all. No. And I think that's the problem, is you see it from two different angles.
But the thing is, Derm, the referee upstairs sees it from two different angles.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying, Al, that he's seen two different angles, and he's almost seen two different decisions to be made. And that's the dilemma for him. I feel in that case, he's not sure which way to jump. Yeah. The referee feeds back what he's seen, and he sticks with the on-field decision. Yeah. And I understand the logic of, if you go for one, you go for the other. Bear in mind, they come the wrong way round, because if they'd have gone the other way round, then I think we'd have more
I think what happens, as well as you know, you look at the direction of the ball.
Yes.
And you see where the ball's gone, so you automatically think that the keeper's got there first because the ball's gone that way. But when you've got the opportunity to see it again from three different angles, he's got the ball, but his follow-throughs took the player. It's a penalty.
Yeah. Well, Dem, stay with us, because we're going to talk to you about a couple of other things in a moment. But let's first of all hear how Martin Odegaard reflected on that incident.
Yeah, in my opinion, the first situation with me, I think it's a penalty. I touched the ball first, and then the goalkeeper touched my legs, and I go down. So for me, it's a penalty. And the second situation, I feel like Bernardo is the one who goes down to the floor, and then it's a little contact, but nowhere near enough a penalty in my opinion. And then the last situation, I think it's three situations that goes against others, and it's very hard, so it's frustrating.
Yeah, frustrating for him indeed. Well, let's go back to City's penalty. And Gabriel scuffed the penalty spot, but he wasn't booked for it.
No, I don't think that got picked up, Seema. It got picked up by the TV monitors, but not picked up by the referee or his assistant on the field. You see the assistant's actually looking away at this point, and the VAR can't alert him to that. But what you will see as they go back for the restart, he says something to Stuart Atwell. Stuart Atwell took umbrage and yellow carded him, and then 2 minutes later, you know, he's paid a... This is what you see in there. He gets a yellow card here for something he said, and I think then 2 minutes later with the foul on this, 2 minutes later, this foul, ultimately he's sent off for his comment towards Stuart 2 minutes earlier, because this is just a straight yellow card, but becomes a red card because of what happened.
Yeah, no argument with that second yellow, though.
No, Seema, no argument with anything at all there. It's a red card, you know, for 2 bookable offences. That is it. That's why Arsenal are where they are, really, because they make stupid mistakes like that. Scuff it. Even, I know they didn't spot it, but even scuffing the penalties, what are you doing? I've taken penalties. Scuffing the penalty, but it doesn't do anything to affect you. You get to place it. There's a little scuff there. The penalty spot is decent size. You just place it to
That's
the...
what Mahrez did.
It doesn't matter at all.
If you see where Mahrez put the ball,
puts it even further forward.
Yeah.
Why do they do it? What? I mean, I've got no sympathy whatsoever, and that's something that Arsenal have just got to get out of the game, because pettiness, like in the first instance, as then you're on ice. Then you're all of a sudden you're one little mistake away from game over, and that's what happened. 10 men against 11 against Man City for a large part of the game. You're killing yourself. Why are they doing it? You're killing yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to be switched on if you're going to be a decent team.
That is not a position to be in against Man City, for sure. Well, Dermot, thank you very much for clearing up those incidents for us, and Happy New Year once again. Let's talk a bit more about Arsenal, because obviously we just spoke about the negatives there, but actually they were really, really good, especially in the first half, Al.
Well, it was the first half. You know, when I went down to 10 men, it's difficult enough playing Man City, but 10 men's, you know, you're not going to get back in it really. But they've been beat in the 98th minute in the end. So there's a lot of positives from Arsenal, but they needed to take the chance. They needed to score the goals when they was on top. I mean, this is a wonderful goal. I love seeing players pass the ball in the net, especially from the edge of the box. And it's a well-worked goal as well, Michael.
Yeah, right the way through the middle of the pitch, wasn't it, Alan? And then out wide. It's a typical Arsenal goal, you know, what you tend to associate with them. You know, every ball was precise, was meant, even this ball to Tierney, from Tierney, and a lovely finish, as you say. It's a great goal and a great start. And as you say, they took it to Manchester City. I was so impressed. I have been so impressed with Arsenal in recent weeks, and I was so impressed again with them today. They've just got to cut out silly mistakes, because without silly mistakes, and I'm not talking about giving passes away, I'm talking about things that you've got lots of time to think of, and you basically just hand an advantage to a team without them even doing anything. They've got to cut that out.
Are they starting to look like the team that could really clinch that 4th spot to you, Al?
Well, it's a crazy league at the moment, because at the start of the season, Arteta was on the sack, you know, because they started so badly.
Yeah, they lost the first 3.
Then they've had a great run, and everyone's talking about these young players, and, you know, the Arsenal are back. But I was really impressed with that first half, and I looked at the young players. They looked as if they was enjoying themselves, they was expressing themselves. And if they'd have just got the rub of the green, especially when Aka clears it off the line, and some of the chances they created, they could have quite easily got in 2 or 3 up at half-time.
Yeah, I think this is the what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Ball getting cleared off the line from Ake, and then
that's at 1-1, by the way.
Yeah, this is, I mean, 2 huge instances in the blink of an eye here. First one is obviously the clearance, but then just have a look at the referee here getting in front of Martinelli. I'm not sure whether that affects him in any way. I mean, don't get me wrong, he gets a clear attempt at it in the end, but he is in front of him for a fair way, and then just almost sees it, not last second, but, you know, I'd like to have a clear view of it if I was Martinelli, and you'd expect him to score from there. Big miss.
As far as the title race is concerned, Manchester City, can you see anyone stopping them now?
Well, I don't think it's over, but of course, anyone that says, you know, Man City aren't going to win it, or don't think they're going to win it, is probably a huge supporter of another team. You know, they are the best team at the moment. They've got a real nice points cushion. They've got to play the other competitors at home. It's all pointing to Man City at the minute. However, how many times have we seen, what Alan's already mentioned, the twists and turns of this Premier League? We've seen it before, and we'll see it again. It won't be plain sailing between now and then, but They're in the best position.
Especially when you've got the Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup games coming in. You know, you never quite know.
They've got the squad.
They do, don't
Let's
they?
say that.
That's one thing for sure. OK, well, stay with us.
Well, Joseph, what a party.
Yeah, it was a great victory for the players, the fans and everyone.
What do you think about your performance?
I think it was good, and each game it keeps getting better.
We need this match, no, with 3 goals.
Yeah, it was really great because we fought hard for this victory and everyone deserved to be happy.
Bueno, es el mejor partido de la temporada en lo que va de liga, ¿no?
No sé si el mejor, pero sí el que hemos sabido jugar con el marcador a nuestro favor, que nos estaba costando mucho. Y sobre todo felices por ganar en casa, porque nos estaba costando muchísimo. Desde que hay público en el estadio solo habíamos ganado un partido de no sé cuántos. O sea que hoy el partido creo que era fundamental porque nos ponemos también a 3 puntos del Español, que es un rival directo, para alejarnos de abajo, para irnos tranquilos de vacaciones y pensar en lo que viene.
Con el partido contra el Valencia también nos ponemos por delante, pero el Chacho se quejaba, ¿no? Un poco que nos había faltado controlar el partido. Hoy es lo que tú dices, ¿no? Se ha conseguido.
Bueno, sobre todo hoy no hemos tenido errores individuales que nos pagaron contra el Valencia. Creo que es un partido para sacar conclusiones positivas. Hemos vuelto a ganar en casa, tenemos que hacernos fuertes aquí de lo que queda de temporada, porque fuera de casa sí el equipo está respondiendo bien y tenemos que seguir esta línea.
Cuéntame el gol, ¿no? Porque ha sido una jugada rápida, pero cuando te ha llegado ha sido como mucha pausa, las pican. ¿Cómo ha sido?
Bueno, recibo de Hugo, controlo y normalmente Diego López suele salir a tapar. Veo muchos partidos y Diego López en los 1 para 1 suele salir a tapar, entonces yo controlo y él no ve lo que voy a hacer, entonces intento picársela un poquito y cruzársela con tranquilidad.
¿Hugo ya tocaba?
Tocaba, pero ahora mismo sentimos una alegría inmensa, ya no solo por el partido, sino estamos trabajando como el que más, estamos en el día a día muy sacrificados, con los pies en la tierra, con humildad, y al final somos una piña y hoy nos lo merecíamos y se lo merecía también la afición, que pues mira, no estamos ganando, no nos están saliendo los partidos en casa y aún así la afición cree en nosotros, nos apoya y nos transmite el cariño día a día.
Eso te iba a decir, has dicho que sois una piña equipo, pero la afición también. Hemos visto ese momento tan bonito ahí en la esquina.
Sí, sabemos que le debemos mucho a esta afición, no solo de esta temporada, sino que por desgracia hemos vivido un par de temporadas muy jodidas sobre todo a nivel mental, muy difíciles de sacar, y las hemos sacado esas temporadas gracias al apoyo de ellos. En otra situación, en otro equipo, la afición lo dejaría de lado, y aquí cuanto peor iban las cosas, más estaban con uno y con el equipo. Y eso es de agradecer y se lo agradeceremos hoy, mañana y en un futuro.
En lo personal, vuelves después de varias semanas que parecía que sí, pero al final no, 90 minutos con asistencia.
La verdad que bueno, no estoy al 100%, pero creo que he podido ayudar al equipo. Venía de mucho tiempo parado, unos problemas que no se me daban ido. Entrenaba, tenía que volver a parar, volví a aparecer, volví a parar. Bueno, espero que ahora sea el fin de esta lesión del carajo, porque ya estoy frito, y que pueda ayudar y contribuir al equipo.
Saca 2001, 2022...
por el 2022 a tope. Tenemos que seguir con los pies en la tierra, saber quiénes somos, de dónde venimos, y con esta afición, con el equipo, con el compañerismo y el sacrificio, no quiero ser pesado, pero creo que son las claves para mirar hacia adelante en un futuro.
Gracias, Hugo.
Gracias a vosotros.
Gracias, Hugo.